All right, guys. So if you're a jiu-jitsu athlete, hobbyist, or grappler, and you want to get stronger and prevent injuries or better manage your injuries, I want to go ahead and walk you through my exact strength structure that I do with my clients that get them such impressive results. So I'm going to share my screen here, and you're going to be able to see my Google Doc that I gave you in the chat before. If you don't have it, you can just look in the description down below. You'll be able to click the link and get this document so that way you have it. I wanted to just walk you through it so that way that you are able to use this guide as something that's going to help you move forward, because you can have all the information that you want if you're not actually taking action and putting the things in place and that you're actually doing the new things that you're learning, you're not going to get any results that you want. Here's how to structure the perfect workout as a grappler or jiu-jitsu athlete. A lot of people have the wrong idea when it comes to working out as a grappler. See the same thing all the time with my clients, especially when they first start working with me. They think working out like a bodybuilder and doing push-pull legs will help them get stronger, which it definitely can. But you may have noticed that if you're doing this type of routine, that it can take away from your jiu-jitsu training. Either it takes too long and it's hard to stick to, or it makes you sore. And then when you're going to actually do jiu-jitsu, you're underperforming because your body is still recovering from the strength session. So as we take a whole overview of what a program could look like, I recommend that you incorporate a full body type of routine where you focus is instead of on muscle parts like chest, back, legs, you focus on movement patterns. The 7 movement patterns are squat, hinge, push, pull, lunge, rotate, and carry. Also want to work on physical attributes outside of just strength, like power, mobility, and conditioning. So a regular bodybuilding, like chest day, back day, leg day, or push pull legs, it doesn't cover all of those attributes in that type of program. In the strength and conditioning world, I want you to remember that less is more. If you focus on good quality sets, so instead of trying to do like 3 sets of 8 to 12, instead you work your way up to like a really heavy set and then you stop and you move on to the next exercise. That type of training is better. And that comes a lot from how the Olympic weightlifters from China actually do about their training. And also, Russian wrestlers also train a lot differently than American wrestlers, and they tend to outperform in general. And you see this type of training actually, Penn State Wrestling also does this and is very successful with it, where they focus more on frequency, higher frequency of session, and the intensity of each session is lower. So that way you're able to actually take in information and you're able to recover properly in between. And then when there's time to ramp it up for a competition, then you choose to do so instead of always trying to go 100%, which I think is what a lot of people do when it comes to powerlifting. You want to work your way up to a high intensity, keep it at like 1 or 2 sets of high intensity, and then move on to the next exercise. If you do too much in a given session or plan to do too much, 2 things are going to happen. You're not going to do the workout at all because you don't want to do it. You're unmotivated. Or you're going to grind through the session, but then the next day you're going to be so sore that you're not able to perform your best at jiu-jitsu. So here's how you set up the perfect workout as a grappler. You can do something to this structure 2 to 3 times a week for 45 to 60 minutes. You'll see more results doing this than working out 4 to 5 times a week with the bodybuilding approach. So this is the Rosati Strength Systems workout and exercise modality. You were to look at 6 parts of one given workout, these would be what the 6 parts consist of. So you have your warm up, you have your compound power lifts, which we'll go into in just a sec, compound strength lifts, isolation strength lifts, metabolic conditioning, and then your cool down. Your warm up is going to consist of a dynamic mobility. So I actually put down a full routine in this YouTube link. So it's either on my channel or you can click the document, click the link or click the link in the description below, and you also see this. If you need the document, the link is down below. That's going to be your full dynamic mobility routine. A compound power lift would be something like a push press or some type of clean variation or some type of jumping exercise. You're doing something that is going to be producing power. You then focus on compound strength lifts where you're working multiple muscle groups in given motion. So you have the seal row is a great example of a compound strength lift. You then have isolation strength lift, which is when you're doing something that's going to be just working, one muscle group, like a reverse fly is mostly just working your rear delts. Then metabolic conditioning would be some type of cardio. So you implement jumping rope. Then for your cool down, you have a stretching routine, which again, I put another link down there for you to follow. And I bet you if you try this workout or a variation like this, you are going to start feeling way better on the mats and you're overall going to be recovering a lot better. You also want to take into consideration how you're able to follow a program while also managing injuries. Almost everyone who does jujitsu consistently has lingering aches and pains that come and go. Good strength for jujitsu routine is going to be something that can be adapted as you face those types of challenges. So you can continue to see progress in your routine while also staying as healthy as possible. Two best strategies I found to implement into your routine is lower volume, higher frequency training. This means you're hitting movement patterns frequently throughout the week without taxing muscle groups and making them sore. Implementing the right corrective exercises when those nagging aches and pains come up so you can minimize the risk of something more serious happening. So obviously with jujitsu, you are going to be seeing a lot of injuries. It's just going to be part of the sport. It doesn't matter if you do everything correctly. So when you do start to feel those injuries come on, or you're feeling like a nagging ache and pain, that's when implementing rehab type of exercises can be really beneficial because it's going to stop you from taking a lot of time off of the mats. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. If you did find this to be helpful, you found it to give you clarity on what you should be doing as an athlete, maybe even try one of the workouts and really see the benefits of training this way versus what you might have been doing before and see how it can benefit you. If you're ready for something and you're ready to commit to a program, my awesome program that I just put together, the 12-week Jiu-Jitsu Athlete Accelerator, is a great introduction for somebody who is just starting out and trying to strength train for the Jiu-Jitsu, increasing performance on the mats and decreasing their risk of injury. Just click this Google document that I have on this sheet below, and you'll be able to see all the information and what that entails. If you ever have any questions or concerns, feel free to DM me right on Instagram, Rosati Strength Systems.